Hey everybody, how's it going? So, a few things I wanted to discuss. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video. This channel is now going to be for random videos that I decide to do on any random topic. It's not like Lewis streams board repair or Lewis streams random stuff from work. This is going to be a channel where this is pretty much my random shitposting channel. So you'll see all different types of content here, much of which will probably you'll feel like you're wasting your time if you initially came here for board repairs. So I just want to say this up front because I don't want people to feel like I'm tricking them or I'm pulling something funny on them by changing the theme of the channel on them. I want it to be known up front that I'm intending to change how I use this channel entirely. I used to use my main channel to upload just random crap, and now I'm gonna be, but that was back when I had like 100 or 200 subscribers. Now that it has 1.5 million, I feel weirder using my main channel to just upload every random thing that comes into my mind. So I'm gonna be using this channel for that. So if you came here for, to see videos of me in the store, me fixing boards on live stream and interacting and all that, you may want to consider unsubscribing because I'm completely changing what I do with this channel. This is just gonna be where I dump stuff that I feel like, any random thing I feel like doing at any random time. There is no schedule, there is no theme, there is no topic. It's just Lewis Rossman, random. That's it. So that being said, there's a few things I wanted to discuss today. And one of the things I wanted to discuss is what is going on and what's going through my head with the whole Renew Repair Association and group, because a lot of you have been asking. And this is not something that has a short answer. There's a lot that I have to explain, and I'm going to try to explain what's going through my head, what's going through our minds on a regular basis here so that you can all feel like you're a part of what's going on. So, with the direct ballot thing, the thing I use the GoFundMe for is to try and raise the money to do a direct ballot initiative in a state like Massachusetts. I chose Massachusetts here because Massachusetts has already passed a right to repair law for the automotive industry. And then when there was a loophole in that law, they did a second ballot question and they were able to pass it. So what that means is that the legislative environment in Massachusetts is such that they were able to get right to repair passed, whether it is because of their legislature, whether it is because of their culture, whether it is because of their voters. I cannot say for sure. But what I can say is they were able to get it done, and they were also a large enough state and a large enough area, I did not just do that, it's not like a company is going to say, Toyota's not going to say after spending $5 million or $4 million to produce fear-mongering ads that were lying against the bill, which, by the way, they did a lot, okay, we're just not going to sell cars in Massachusetts. Like, really? You don't want to sell cars to people that go to MIT or Harvard? You don't want to sell cars to people that live in Cambridge, that have all that tech money there? There's a lot of money in Massachusetts. And so it worked. So people said, figure out who did the direct ballot approach there, and ask them what it takes to win this. So I did. And what it came down to is it was done by a firm called Brian Hickey Associates, and I spoke to them. They were actually familiar with me already because I did videos.
Interstate 87 South Ramp on the left toward New York.
I did videos on them, and I did videos on the bullshit garbage commercial that was done about you getting raped in a parking lot or a parking garage because your spouse followed you.
Interstate 87 South Ramp on the left.
Because someone was able to get, access to the diagnostic codes and shit and the stuff they need to be able to fix a car. I thought that was all bullshit. So they knew me from that already, which was really cool. So now, I had a long talk with them, and they were very clear that this is going to cost a lot of money. And they said, we spent $25 million on that campaign, but what you may notice is that the opposition spent about $26 million on theirs. Now, they came up with a figure about $5 to $20 million to get this passed. That was factoring in the whole social media presence thing I have going on. And what they explained was that much of what you're paying for here is constant advertising, focus groups, and polling. So they said that the opposition it can get fined if they release ads that are untrue or slanderous. However, the opposition doesn't care. Okay, so they get a $200,000 fine because they released a BS ad. Who cares? They want to keep right to repair from being passed. They'll probably throw 1 or 200 million into ads. Like, the fines are nothing. It's kind of like when Scott Galloway was saying that if you're going to have a parking meter that's $75 for an hour, but the ticket for not filling the meter is $1, no one's going to use it. And that's the way it is with these approaches. So much of what you're going to be doing is responding to ads that are incorrect, that are specifically designed to fearmonger specific demographics of people into voting against the initiative. Because typically ballot initiatives, the default answer is no for most people. If you don't know what something is, the safe thing is to avoid change. If you don't know what it is, if you haven't heard of it, if you're not sure of it, default answer is no. Avoid change, I'm scared. So they could just release any ads they want. And that's what you saw happen with the automotive one. They had the person using, hacking the garage door opener and they had this creepy dude with the scary music in the background, and they were opening the garage of somebody's house and then, implying that they were going to then rape the woman inside. And then they also did the whole thing where they implied that they were going to rape a woman in a parking lot. It's horrible, horrible shit. But they're absolutely shameless. All those videos are now off of YouTube, besides the archives and some of my older videos. This was all garbage. But they did it. So you're going to have to figure out how those ads land. Now, when I use the word land, what does that mean? And did the ad work? So the ad is trying to convince the voter that right to repair is bad for them and scary and evil and horrible. Did the ad land? Did it actually convince the voter that this is a bad thing? That right to repair is bad? So to do that, you have to poll and do focus groups amongst large different demographics to figure out if the ad actually worked. So that's a fairly large expense. And he was saying what these poll costs, and he said you're going to be doing these weekly, sometimes twice weekly, and it's absolutely mandatory you do it every single time a new ad comes out. And you have to release an ad, and your ad also has to show up where people are going to watch it. They had lawn signs everywhere. I think they paid the police commissioner. They paid the police commissioner to show up and do op-eds in newspapers, to show up in commercials, because they figured out that the voter block that they needed trust the police commissioner. They did the research. You trust this specific ex-police commissioner. So they got that ex-police commissioner to write articles on it in every paper and do all this kind of shit. You have political campaign stuff. And that's going to be expensive. Now, I was somewhat doubtful. That's why I made my GoFundMe. He said 5 to 20 million. I made it for 6. So if I make that, I would want to go for direct ballot initiative. However, if I don't make it, what I said is that I wanted to do lobbying in each of the particular states. Now, some have said, let's say you only raise 1 million. Why would you not go for a direct ballot initiative if you have 1 million? It's a great question. Great question. If the direct ballot initiative cannot be done unless you are sure you will win. Let me explain why that is. Let me explain why this is different than lobbying for a normal bill the normal way. When I go to these hearings, typically I am expressing that I am the voice of the little guy. I'm the voice of the little guy. It's interesting when you're going 10 miles an hour over the speed limit and someone passes you seemingly going about 20 or 30 miles over. It's just... I would actually like to change it to the left lane, yet everybody is speeding up considerably to ensure that I cannot do that. It's a New York thing, I imagine. My friend is from Knoxville, Tennessee, and he spends his time in Johnson City, Tennessee, and he said that if I visit Tennessee or Georgia or Alabama or Kentucky and I drive the way that you are conditioned to drive in New York, that I will probably be put in prison. Like he was very, he just said, the way that you drive here, it'll teach you how to be very cautious because you constantly have people that are jumping in front of you. You have people that are, in wrong lanes. People that run in front of the car. They're constantly looking to seemingly commit suicide by car as he drives down Pennsylvania Avenue. But the thing is, it's good to get the alertness driving in New York. It's good to get that up driving in Manhattan and Brooklyn. But if you're gonna go to another state, you have to realize that if you drive the way you do, that people do here, that they will pull you over and probably arrest you and take your car. You can't do this shit. So it's good to keep in my head. So let's explain why it is that losing a direct ballot initiative is not an option, whereby I constantly fail the legislature and I keep coming back. So right now, the whole idea is that I represent the voice of the people. the small repair shops, people that want to fix their own stuff. And the lobbyists represent the larger corporations and their desire to make endlessly more money by getting the little guy to go out of business, as in with their small repair shops, or to constantly buy a new device.
Keep left to stay on Interstate 87 south toward Manhattan, Queens.
So if I try to go for a direct ballot approach, right, and I lose, I can no longer say that I am the voice of the little guy. I can no longer say that I'm the voice of the people. So politicians have they're probably weighing this. I could vote, I could try to push this bill that people want, normal everyday people want, but then the companies will be mad. And then when the companies are mad, they're going to fund my opposition, they're going to make my life a living hell, I'm going to lose perks, I'm going to lose support when it comes to re-election, they may fund my opposition, I may not get re-elected, all this kind of shit. Or, I have other people politically that are against right to repair because these lobbyists, know people that fund their campaigns, and then it's going to be difficult to work with my coworkers. But the upside is that I voted for the will of the people. So they're weighing this back and forth. And as you can see with the progress right to repair has made in the past 7 years, it's been a very one-sided fucking argument here. Now, that's with, all these losses are with us saying we represent the voice of the people and that being believed. If I lose on direct ballot, because I can't do what I need to do, that I can no longer say I represent the will of the people. So if I bring a bill to these politicians, and for normal lobbying, let's say after I fail direct ballot, and I say, hey, it would be really great if you could help me get this passed. They say, wait a second. Not only am I giving up political capital by even presenting this, not only am I losing my chance of getting reelected, but I'm also doing something that the voters don't even want? Are you kidding me? And it makes sense. Who the fuck is going to put their ass in the chopping block for a bill? Fuck you, autopilot. Holy shit, that's why you pay attention to the road. I don't understand these people that trust autopilot without paying attention to the road, because autopilot was just about to crash me into a giant piece of concrete. That's why I'm not looking at this camera. I've seen people that look at the camera as they're driving, and they look back and forth constantly to make eye contact. No, paying attention to the road, because there was that little piece of concrete that came out at me that wasn't there a second ago, that then was right there in that car. The meme computer and this meme car did not see it, and that would have been bye-bye Lewis. That would have been, ripped.
In 1 mile, take exit 3 on the right toward East 138th Street, Madison Avenue Bridge.
Don't trust you, Tesla. I don't trust you, meme car. I don't trust you, meme car. I call it meme car. I had it named Bauer, but I was thinking of renaming it meme car because it's a meme. The amount of stupid things that autopilot has done, it's a cool feature. I think that, again, it probably sees things that you wouldn't on a long-term drive, but for fuck's sake, pay attention to the road. Do not trust this shit to drive for you. And, for the people that ask, no, I did not pay $10,000 to be Elon Musk's fucking beta tester. Hell no. I use normal autopilot, not full self-driving. I'm sure there's probably some Tesla fanboy out there that would say that the car would not do that if you were using full self-driving. If you use full self-driving, then, it won't crash into a piece of concrete. But, nah. There's this one guy that did a video driving around San Francisco and another part of Seattle with the full self-driving beta, and oh my god, the amount of shit that it missed. It tried to drive straight into a gate. It was hysterical. And what I've noticed is that Tesla fanboys are very similar to Apple fanboys. I'm not a Tesla fanboy, by the way, just to make it clear. I got this car.
Take exit 3 on the right.
I got this car because very simple reason. I wanted a car that was electric, that had over 350 miles of range, that did not cost an insane amount of money, that had charging everywhere. And if you look, you go to Ford, go to Nissan, go to Chevy, go to Hyundai, Honda, Toyota. You want an electric car, 300 plus miles of range, that's not an insane amount of money, you can't get it. Ford has the Mustang Mach-E, but way less charging stations available than Tesla. Way more money for way less range. I'm not giving, again, it's one thing if it was some luxury brand, but it's fucking Ford. I'm not going to pay a premium to get 50 miles less range from Ford while paying $15,000 to $20,000 more. So I wanted an electric car. I got spoiled by electric while I was using my bike motor. and there's not really much options. And by all means, the moment someone comes up with something that's better than this, I'm all for it. Anyway, where was I with this before the autopilot tried to kill me? Where was I? Yeah, so I get to say right now that I represent the will of the people. Now, if I lose on direct ballot, I no longer can say that I represent the will of the people. And there is absolutely no reason in hell that any politician would put their ass on the line for a bill that corporate lobbyists hate that lost when it went direct ballot. So I would be shooting right to repair in the head for eternity. Because right now they say the bill hasn't passed in any state. Why should it pass here? And my answer is always, that's because you fuckers are probably paying all these politicians off to ignore the fucking bill. That's why. You know damn straight why. However, if I lose in direct ballot, then I'm giving every single one of these. How the fuck did I turn my wipers on? Meme car.
In 500 feet, turn right onto 3rd Avenue. Now turn right onto 3rd Avenue.
Uh-oh. Did I get on the wrong thing? I did.
In 500 feet, take exit 2 on the right toward Willis Avenue.
I can't
now
blame
take
Meme Car
exit
for that
2
one.
on the right.
I can't blame Meme Car for that one. That's my bad.
Turn right onto Bruckner Boulevard.
So what I would want to do if I don't raise enough money to do a direct ballot initiative properly, because of the fucking amount of risk involved in losing, and knowing that I would be shooting right to repair in the head for eternity, I would do lobbying in specific states. I would want to do lobbying
right onto Bruckner Boulevard.
in specific states for bills the normal way, not direct ballot. And they have their lobbyists, but if I have my own lobbyist and I can do a proper campaign, I can go to every single repair shop in that state. I could get every single repair shop to show up on the day that they're needed to show up. I can have lobbyists speak to every single politician prior to there being a hearing by weeks or months or years. Then you got that is a chance to get me somewhere. Now here's where I'm running into problems. And here's a serious one. Some of the bills that have been introduced in 2021 are not bills that I think would work. So there are bills that exist in states right now, and they don't seem like bills that would get us everything that we are looking for. So for instance, one of the reasons that I started selling t-shirts in 2016 that said "Schematics or Die" with a picture of an angry Mr. Clinton the cat is because if I cannot get schematics or board views or chips, then I don't actually have right to repair. I have a little thing, a badge that says right to repair, a little name tag that says right to repair, where I could say, look, I got a piece of legislation passed, yay! But it doesn't actually fucking do anything. And I don't want my name attached to a piece of legislation that doesn't do anything. Further, I don't want to waste your time or your money getting a piece of legislation passed that doesn't do anything. So what do I mean by that? Well, some of the bills that exist now say it will make available what is made available to authorized repair centers. So independents would get access to the shit that's available at authorized repair centers.
Right onto East 129th Street, then take the ramp on the right toward FDR Drive South.
So what does Apple authorized repair do?
129th Street.
Well, I did a video on this, did I not? What does unauthorized repair do? Let's find out. It's about 4 years old.
FDR Drive South.
Yeah. Erica makes this noise every now and then. It's like her crap noise. It's Sometimes I find myself making her crap noise too when I see something silly. I go Okay, meme car. It's time to get into the left lane. Okay, so this is cool. This is New York driving shit. The moment I put my left turn signal on, everybody sped up to ensure that I can't get in. But Sonny says there's a concept that I need to familiarize myself with, which is called mutually assured destruction. I need to be able to trust that they don't want their car to be destroyed, And because they don't want their car to be destroyed, they're not going to do something fucking stupid like speed up when they see that I'm serious about coming. And so, because before I would not turn when I would make my turn signal, and the person behind me would go from 55 miles an hour to fucking 85, because God forbid someone go in his lane. I would not make the turn. But now I look, I see this clearance, I stare him straight in the eyes through my mirror, which is kind of a joke. I can't stare someone in the eyes through a mirror, but you get the idea. I stare a nice laser stare into my mirror, and then when the coast is clear, the thing is, I actually would be able to make it, but the only thing that's keeping me from making it is the fact that they fucking speed up when you put the turn signal on. I think that's part of why people don't use turn signals, because one of the things I used to be frustrated with when I would ride my bike is that a lot of the cars did not use their turn signals, so I would wind up getting hit by someone who would be changing lanes without using turn signals. But I'm starting to understand the culture now, and I'm not saying that I appreciate what they were doing, but what I'm saying is I understand why they don't use the turn signal, because using the turn signal signals that you're going to turn. And if you signal that you're going to turn, it allows the other person to know, fuck that, I'm not going to let this guy turn, and they speed up. So they don't do that if you don't use your turn signal. The problem with not using your turn signal is that you're not letting people around you know what you're doing, which increases the likelihood of a crash. This is probably another one of those interesting things about New York driving that, people who live in non-meme states are not used to dealing with. But it's very interesting when you get on the highway here and people, they see that you've used a left turn signal. It looks like you may actually want to go to the left. Nope. It's absolute memery. So the problem is that the bills in these states, they specify you get access to what the authorized repair center gets access to. What's that? What does the authorized repair center get access to? Seriously, what do they get access to? A fucking shipping label printer in a box to send this shit back to Apple because they replaced the entire phone if you have lint in your charge port? I mean, I'm not kidding about this. Check the video on what does unauthorized repair do. They believe that dude believed that the charge port is soldered to the motherboard. They have no idea what they're doing, and they don't do anything. They don't have to know what they're doing because their job is to mail the shit back to Apple and then give you a refurbished one 1 to 2 weeks later. Now that is a joke. That's bad. That's not good for the customer. That's not good for the customer's wallet. That's not good for independent repair, because I already have a shipping label printer. And if I wanted to just mail the shit back to the fucking, back to Apple and then pay, what the price of a new one is, I can do that now. That's Erica calling me. Erica. Hello, Erica. Hello, girl.
Hello.
Erica, you're on camera. So I'm on my way. I will see you soon, I promise, girl.
Oh, okay. Where are you?
70th Street on the FDR.
Oh, I'm near 176 Broadway.
You said you were on White something Street and something else around Wall Street, right?
Yeah, we started there, but I'm somewhere else now.
Okay, so you said 176 Broadway?
Yeah.
Okay, I will make my way to 176 Broadway, and I will see you soon, beautiful.
Okay, what's your ETA most likely?
I would have to look at the screen to do that, and if I look at the screen, I will die. So I would say 10 minutes, okay? You said 177 Broadway?
I'm at 176 Broadway.
176 Broadway. Okay, I will see you soon, beautiful. Mwah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Mwah. All right. Navigate 176 Broadway. Meme car. Meme car. Navigate 176 Broadway. Can I trust autopilot? Who am I kidding? Let's see. What? Fuck off! attention. Okay, maybe he wants to. Maybe I can trust it in the right lane. How about that? I mean, the middle lane. Maybe it's easier for it to do that. Yo, it just wanted to crash into a pile of stone. Like, what the hell? No. Okay, so when it has a lane marker on both sides, maybe it'll be a little bit better. All right. All right. Can't trust this shit. Don't trust Elon Meme car. Don't trust the meme car. Navigate 176 Broadway. Turn camera off screen. Show navigation on screen. What navigation stopped? You fucking meme! 176 Broadway, navigate. Alright, guess I don't have a map on the screen anymore.
Drive southwest on FDR Drive South for 3.8 miles.
You fucking meme. It's showing me my rear camera, as if instead of a map. As if I care about this. Whatever, I know how to get to 176 Broadway. It's not like I haven't lived here for 32 fucking years. So the thing is, if a bill says it gives me access to what authorized repair gets access to, then what the fuck is the point of that? It's useless. It doesn't do anything for me. Because authorized repair doesn't get to do shit. And that's how they would weasel out of the bill. That's how they would weasel out of the bill. Aha, there we go. Map. That's how they're going to weasel out. I don't want to give them an excuse to weasel out. I don't want to make it easy on them. I want the bill to specify. You can't tell the chip manufacturer that they're allowed to tell the chip manufacturer of charging chips, hey, don't sell to us. Fuck that. You can't do that. I don't want them to be able to say that, we're not giving you schematics because we don't give our authorized repair center schematics. Because they don't. Apple does not give their authorized repair center schematics. They don't. Lots of companies don't. Authorized repair is we're going to take your device, and if anything is wrong with it that requires a brain, we are going to ship it back to the manufacturer. And after we ship it back to the manufacturer, we are going to give you a shiny, refurbished one from some other pile of crap. Now, what I would want access to is who's doing the refurbishing. Someone at Apple does board level refurbishing. I know that for a fact because when they were doing the GPU replacement program, you could tell. Because when the customers would come back to me and say, hey, I got my GPU replaced, and the free replacement program's like, yeah, I know, your board is brown. Probably use some profile to try to get the chip off and on there in fucking 4 minutes, and that's what happened. So the bill has to be edited. But here's the problem. To edit the bill, okay, let's say it took 2 years for a bill to get out of committee. If it took 2 years to get a bill out of committee, 2 years just to get out of committee so that people could talk about it for this legislative session. And then this jackass is like, oh yeah, by the way, this bill is missing shit. It has to change. Who's going to want to vote on that? Nobody's going to do that. What, so the bill could get held up for another 5 years? So what I have to do, which is challenging, is figure out how to navigate this. Do I lobby in other states? Do I get this presented in other states where it's easier to get a bill edited? Do I present a new bill in a state that doesn't have a bill? Do I figure out which states allow me to edit? Do I try to bulldoze and edit through in one of these states by saying this bill has the support of Repair Preservation Group Action Fund, which has money, but that's going to be a question. And then, are we even doing that approach? Because if I do wind up, by some miracle, showing up on Joe Rogan, Patrick Bet-David, Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro, Kyle Kulinski, David Pakman, Sam Cedar, the Hill with Crystal and Sagar, the New York Times, the New York Post, Bloomberg, all these other outlets. If I manage to show up in all these places, maybe, just maybe, I'll find a disaffected Silicon Valley millionaire or billionaire that feels, holy fucking shit. Okay, I'm going 45 and a 40. I don't know if you can see that from this angle. That dude's going at least twice. That dude's going like 80 miles an hour. What the fuck? That was insane. It's like being next to the Flash. I get it, you know, speed a little bit on the highway. Everybody does it. You know, it's good for you. You get where you're going faster. It's good for the state. They get to collect revenue by pretending that they're not speeding when they're outside the cop car. But the thing is, that level of speeding is fucking nuts. Because that's going to kill people. At least in my opinion. That's going to kill even more people than autopilot probably kills. From crashing you into random chunks of concrete. I'm giving autopilot too much shit. It really does catch some stuff. You know, I appreciate it. I'm sure that on a long drive,
Now take exit 2 on the right.
I'm sure that on a long drive, that having the ability
Now
to
keep
use
right
autopilot
toward Manhattan Civic Center.
instead, you know, when you're dead tired, and son of a bitch. Oh, fuck. Yo, shit. Whoops. I'm sure it helps some people. Sometimes. If I miss an exit, I'm not gonna do some sort of crazy risky turn to try to barge my way in. It's just, you know, it's not worth it to lose, killing myself over a minute or getting into a crash over a minute or two. I've seen some people that do some crazy shit if they miss an exit. If I miss an exit, it's just fine. Fuck it. Wasn't my time. I'll get to the next one. Not worth dying over. None of this is worth dying over. So yeah, it's going to be complicated. Do I try to barge my way into a place that already has a bill? That's going to be bad. Navigate 177 Broadway, Manhattan. I think it's actually navigating into Brooklyn. Are you serious? Are you serious, meme car? Meme car? Oh my god, you are a meme car. Navigate. That's hysterical. Call Erica. Hello.
Hold on. Hey, what's up?
I will see you in 11:19.
In what?
11:19.
What's the 119?
That's
You'll
a-
see me in 9 minutes, okay?
It's a
I'm
time.
right in front of 176 Broadway, okay?
Yeah, the car wanted to re-navigate me to the Brooklyn Broadway rather than.
Oh, goodness.
I know it's
Yeah, I'm
me.
in, I'm at, right across the street on Jersey.
I also missed an exit because I'm an idiot. So I give it 50-50.
Okay, I'll be outside.
All right. I'll see you soon. Pret à manger. I like how you pronounce it officially. Pret à manger. Pret à manger. It's okay, little meme car. Are you? Yeah, it's still recording. So this is also going to be awkward because now I have to, you know, go through and explain to legislators who may have already been kind of iffy on supporting this bill as it is, on why they should be okay with me making these edits to the bill that ensure that you can't just weasel out of what it is we're looking for. Access to chips, access the schematics, access the diagrams. The light just turned green, man. Chill, bro. It's not. My car doesn't fly. It would be cool if it did.
Now make a U-turn to stay on Adams Street.
What? What do you mean make a U-turn? So why is... You mother...
Now make a U-turn at J Street.
The light just turned green. But there's a car in front of me. I think he wants me to run over the car. That seems to be the logical thing. Yes, this is gonna be awkward. That's awkward.
Now turn right onto Adams Street.
Because let's say I wind up getting this money and then I advocate for a bill that doesn't actually work. That could almost be worse than actually not getting it passed. Because then people think, well, what, you passed it. Why are you bitching? Why are you bitching? You already got what you want. That'd be bad. That'd be horrible. Something passes that doesn't actually do anything, that has no teeth. There has to be that antitrust component in there of you cannot tell the chip manufacturer, the fucking charging chip, that you know, don't sell to Lewis. Fuck that. That shit has to end. And no, I'm not dealing with not getting access to schematics or board views. If a right to repair bill passes and I still have to go to fucking VinaFix and say, oh, has the A932 schematic came out yet? Oh, it hasn't. Nobody's leaked it or stolen it, so I guess I can't fix this yet. Like, no, fuck that. We're done with that shit. We are done with that shit if we get a bill passed. It's not worth doing all this work to have nothing to show for it that's usable. Okay, let's see. I don't know why I keep turning this on, given its tendency to crash me into pieces of concrete. But no, fuck, yeah, that's a little close, Tesla. Come on, even on the screen, you're telling me that you're leaning to the left. Really, meme car? I'm going to the right. Okay, I think you'll get it more in the right lane. Yeah, middle. Autopilot likes the middle lane. It's good at the middle lane. I don't trust it in the left lane in a lot of instances. Trust it in that lane in a lot of instances.
In 1,000 feet, keep right to take Park Row South.
Park Row South. We are going to be picking up an Erica shortly.
Now keep right to take Park Row South. Now keep left to take Pearl Street. In 500 feet, turn right onto Pearl Street. Now turn right onto Pearl Street.
The awkward part of it is whether or not I'm going to edit a bill in estate or go for a direct ballot is one of those things that, some great New York City road right there, is one of those things where it depends on the amount of money that's available. So I don't even know which approach I would necessarily take until I know which amount of money is available. So right now, I'm at the point where my approach is going to depend on the amount of money that ends up being available. So I can't even specifically tell you which approach I think would be the best, which approach I'm going to be taking, because I don't know which I'm going to do yet. So right now I'm still in the phase of figure out what can be raised, and I'm still in the very early phases of this. Like I showed up with, I had an appearance with Ben Heck. I got into the American Conservative. I got into the National Review, but that was a year ago.
Right onto Fulton Street.
And after that, I got a Linus video. So yeah, Linus video.
Now
Again,
turn
not
right
discounting
onto
Linus
Fulton
video.
Street.
I'm very, very happy that he did a video on this. I was happy as a pig in shit to see that he did a good explanation of it. But you gotta realize there's a lot more people out there that I gotta be able to get across. Obstruction. Signal around obstruction. Meme car has enabled the wipers when I use my signal. Probably hit the wrong button because I'm a dumbass. Gotta figure out what I keep hitting on that turns the wipers on when I use the turn signal. Okay, we're gonna be looking for an Erica, so you guys tell me if you spot one. It's gonna be hard because there's no 360 camera, but that's no excuse for not being able to help me here. You guys are gonna help me spot Erica, and then we're gonna take Erica home. Erica went dumpster diving tonight. She went in a group, which I appreciate. She used to go dumpster diving by herself. It's like, are you out of... Go, mofo. He's running across the street, and he was looking at me to see if I'd run him over, because the light is red for him. But I wish the 360 camera was here so you could see some of that stuff. It's fun. It's like an obstacle course driving here. But if you lose the obstacle, your penalty is going to prison for vehicular homicide.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Broadway.
All right, close to Broadway. Let's put I also I set the acceleration of the car to be slower when I am driving around here. So let's say I were to make some horrible mistake and hit the pedal harder than I should, I would not go right through someone who is jaywalking, because again, at the end of the day, 0 to 60 in 3 or 4 seconds. I mean, this is Manhattan. You're driving at fucking 10 miles an hour most of the time anyway. I think it's a waste.
Now turn left onto Broadway.
So I turned that shit off. I turned it onto the slow mode, just for safety reasons. And so my approach is really going to be based on what I raise. So right now, I'm not so much in that stage as I am in the what can I raise stage. And there are certain things that I plan to do regardless of what I raise. So for instance, going for an FTC antitrust complaint, that's getting done. Getting people to contribute to the wiki, I want to find more people to contribute to that wiki. That's something that's going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Hazard. Damn you and your park anywhere shit. Go, you fuck. Go! Ha! Oh, you've got me road raging now. Don't put that park anywhere lights on right after I stop. Right after I try to go. It's sad, you got this building here. You can see all these multi-million-dollar stores around, and there's a homeless dude sleeping outside of it. I think that really describes New York in a very unique way. It does. What'd I do? Call Erica L.
Hey, what's up?
I'm at Ameritrade. You see TD Bank?
Huh?
You see TD Bank?
Yeah, I'm there.
I am at TD Bank. I am flashing my Park
I
Anywhere
was
logo.
at 176 Broadway.
I'm at TD
Okay.
Bank. So you see where TD Bank
Okay, so
is?
you're at 182. You're right across 11 John Street. Then.
Also, there's a place that I want to show you that's right down the street from here.
Oh, a dumpster? Okay. All right.
No, there's a place that I want to show you that I have to take you.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You're going to
Okay.
like it.
Okay. Hold.
Let's see where you are. Should I unlock the car for her? Yeah, I'll unlock the car. That would be the nice thing to do. I may even put the heat on for her.
I messed up on something.
What'd you mess up on?
Okay, so there was this guy in my.
Turn heat on.
There was this guy that was in the dumpster diving group, and you know he came up and I was like, hey, you know, and then it's like everybody.
This is recording, by the way. Do you want this to be private?
Yeah, can you make it private?
Oh shit, I didn't finish my video yet. Should I? I forget where I was as well. Can I finish and then we talk?
Yeah. Okay. Let me know when we can talk.
Yeah, so the main awkward part here is I have to figure out how to finish, A, what I'm going to do. I mean, A, what my budget is so I know which approach I can take. And then B, if I go for the normal legislative approach rather than direct ballot, there's that awkward part of, hey, legislators, so I know you've been working on these right to repair bills in all these states. Let's edit them so that they actually work for repair people. And they go, what? What do you mean? We didn't know these didn't work for repair people. And that's going to be, Eric. Erica, you troll.
Yeah, I was trying to lower my
Erica,
volume.
you troll.
There we go.
She does this every time I do a video.
Yeah.
She finds a new way to troll. And that's gonna be that's gonna be difficult. It's also gonna be awkward, but it's absolutely necessary because a right to repair bill that doesn't allow you to get schematics, chips, parts, all that stuff. It's really, in many ways, it's fundamentally, how do I put this, useless. Useless. So we got to make sure that whatever we push for, whatever gets passed, is something that we pass it once, it does what it needs to do, we're done. And then we move on to the next industry. So, for instance, consumer electronics repair, bam. Agricultural, bam. Next bill, medical device repair, bam. But I don't want to have to go back and do right to repair consumer electronics, right to repair consumer electronics version 2, right to repair consumer electronics version 3. It's hard enough to get one passed, and to have to, I want to go back for every other industry, and I want to, get the people from the other industries once you got one passed. But we got to make sure that what we're going for is something that actually makes sense. And speaking of make sense, I haven't made much sense here. I've just been kind of rambling for an hour, but that's about it. This video probably sucked, but yeah, see you later.